beautiful morning to you, my dear listener. This is Carnival Radio newspaper review. I am Elizabeth Tessie Okemukoko. So this morning we bring you newspaper headline from the Nation newspaper, The Punch, Vanguard, Daily Post. We have headlines like Electoral Act Amendment likely for passage today. No going back on reforms, Tinubu tells World Bank team. Alleged genocide, Nigeria under spotlight as US lawmakers hold fresh sessions today. Suspected Boko Haram militants raid Kwara State village. Man dies while rescuing goats from deep well in Oyo. Now the news in details. Ongoing amendment to the Electoral Act will strengthen the electoral process, the Senate assures Nigerians yesterday. The Red Chamber insisted that it will not disappoint the public, despite prolonged closed-door deliberations on the bill. Senators yesterday met for over 4 hours to deliberate on the contentious provisions of the amendments bill, a development that has heightened public interest and speculations over the fate of the reforms. Replying to a question after the session, a ranking senator who spoke on conditions of anonymity explained that the length of the meeting was not unusual, noting that critical national issues often require extensive engagement. According to a source, the Senate is set to openly adapt the votes and proceedings on the bill, stressing that the process would be transparent and in line with the democratic standards. He clarified that the final decision would only become official after voting and adaptation of the plenary proceedings, adding that senators would still be given the opportunity to continue before proceedings are formally approved. He also said that the bill contains strict provisions against the submission of false or fake documentation by candidates, warning that any candidate found culpable would lose the slot while the affected party would forfeit the right to represent a replacement. This news was sourced from the Nation newspaper. Electoral Act Amendment likely for passage today. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday declared that his administration would not reverse course on its economic reforms. He also vowed to sustain transparency and accountability in governance. Speaking when he received a World Bank delegation led by Managing Director of Operations Anna Bach at the State House, Abuja, the president said that the reforms, though painful at the beginning, were necessary to strengthen Nigeria's economy and create opportunities for its young population. He emphasized that Nigeria, as the heart of the African continent, must take necessary steps to transform its economy, particularly through agricultural mechanization and support to farmers. The president specifically called on World Bank to assist in establishing mechanization centers to help farmers, enhance seedling programs, and facilitate access to commercial farmers that can bring opportunity to Nigerians. He noted that his administration's commitment to reform required difficult decisions, including ending the subsidy regime and unifying the exchange rate despite the initial shock of high inflation. This news was sourced from the Punch newspaper. No going back on reforms, Tinubu tells World Bank team. On the alleged genocide, the United States Congress is set to hold another session on allegations of Christian genocide in Nigeria today, Wednesday, with witnesses scheduled to testify before the House Foreign Affairs Committee. The hearing, titled Defending Religious Freedom Around the World, will be jointly convened by the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Subcommittee on Africa, and the Subcommittee on Western Hemisphere. Ahead of the session, the witnesses whose testimonies were released on the committee's website ahead of the hearing warned that Nigeria is sliding towards widespread of Christian-Muslim violence. The witness expected at the hearing are former U.S. Ambassador at large for International Religious Freedom, Sam Brownback, Grace Drizzle, daughter of Pastor Azra Jill, and Dr. Stephen F. Shinnick, former chair of the United States Commission on International and Religious Matters. This news was sourced from the Vanguard newspaper. Alleged genocide, Nigerian on the spotlight as U.S. lawmakers hold fresh sessions today. Moving on to the Daily Post newspaper. Suspected fighters of Boko Haram, Jama'atu al-Sunnah fraction have attacked Woro village in Kaima local government area of Kwara State, leaving residents in fear and several properties destroyed. This was disclosed in a post on Wednesday by security analyst and crisis journalist Bakatsin via his X handle. The attack reportedly occurred late Tuesday night when the assailants stormed the rural community, setting multiple homes and food storage facilities ablaze. Woro village is located near Kyle through Bogo local government area of neighboring Niger State, a region that has recently witnessed increased security concerns. This news was sourced from Daily Post newspaper. Suspected Boko Haram militant raid Kwara village. Another story from the Punch newspaper says the Oyo State Fire Service has recovered the corpse of a 30-year-old man, Shina Adedeji, and another 45-year-old man whose name was withheld from two separate locations in the state. One of the victims was trying to rescue a goat when he was trapped in a well. The special advisor to Governor Sheyi Makinde on fire reforms and chairman of the State Fire Service, Maruf Akinwande, disclosed this in a statement issued in Ibadan, the state capital, on Tuesday. He explained that while Adedeji fell into the well at Ajay Ikosi area of Ogbomosho in Ogbomosho North local government area on Tuesday, the second corpse was recovered from a well at the Mokola area of Shaki in Shaki West local government area on Monday. The man in Shaki incident was trying to rescue a goat when he met his death. Akinwande said the agency received a distress call on Monday at exactly 12:23 p.m. through a running caller and Yusuf Ismail that the person had fallen into the well at Mokola area of Shaki. The chairman therefore warned that members of the public to always prioritize their safety in daily activities, noting that life has no duplicate. This news was sourced from the Punch newspaper. Man dies while rescuing goat from deep well in Oyo. And that wraps up our newspaper review segment of Carnival Breakfast Show. Do not forget to stay informed via our app on the iOS and the Google Play Store, and also our website at www.carnivalmedia.ng. It's been Elizabeth Tessie Okemukoko. Do have a very pleasant day.